Be honest, have you ever been called a couch potato, a bum, or lazy bones, or do nothing? Well, these are just some slang used jokingly when referring to a lazy person. And whether it has hurt your feelings personally, or you successfully flicked the jab aside, universally being lazy is frowned upon. Don't act surprised, you've been there. Let's be honest, even if your laziness is not directly harming anyone, people still carry a license to look down upon you for it. Ever wondered why? It is one thing to be an objectively immoral person, but laziness, by definition, the disinclination to use your energy. So why is it considered an unhealthy thing? Think of it this way. Imagine yourself at a train station. You're sitting on a bench and waiting to board a train to take you back home. Now, if you're lazy, you might keep sitting, procrastinating, dwelling in absent-mindedness, and end up missing your train. Now, that sounds like a mood damper, doesn't it? Well, life is akin to a train station, and laziness can make you lose opportunities that can end up transforming your life. So now is the time to take back control of your life by putting an end to your laziness. You don't want to miss endless trains, now do you? Take the first step today, and if you're confused about how to do that, we've got Dr. Andrew Huberman's solid advice to help you always be on your A game. Dr. Huberman is a renowned neuroscientist who has mastered the art of brain development, and today we'll take his wisdom to break through the shackles of laziness. Stop making random excuses. Well, first thing first, you need to be honest with yourself. The first step is to take accountability for your laziness and accept that you've been the one at fault. Now, this may seem a bit harsh, but the truth is the more raw and honest you are with yourself, the quicker you'll be able to take back control of your life. Making excuses is the easiest thing in the world. You can blame just about anything and anyone for your failures. But enough with that. Start telling yourself that you're not lazy. Your behavior is, and the good news is that behavior can be altered. Now is not the time to sit back, shrug your shoulders nonchalantly, and accept defeat with a good old saying, "This is just the way I am." Because guess what? You're not born lazy. No one is. We choose to act lazy. It is a choice. Take accountability to succeed in your first step toward a better life. The more you'll delay this step, the harder it will get. Expect more from yourself. Know you're worthy of doing so much more. Remember Henry Ward Beecher's golden words. Hold yourself responsible for a higher standard than anyone else expects of you. Never excuse yourself. To be in control, you need to stop lying to yourself. Start being honest with yourself with no judgments. Only then will you be able to propel your mind and soul to stop laziness once and for all. Understand why you're feeling this way. If you're not inherently lazy, then where is this coming from? In the depths of despair, do you find yourself asking yourself, "Why am I this way?" Well, just like everything in the world, there is an answer. However, you must dig deeper to understand why you've been lazy to stop being lazy. As per Dr. Huberman, humans make an effort for motivation, and he calls dopamine the biological currency. Take your mundane job, for example. Why do you go to work every day despite hating it? It's the money, right? Even the thought of payday makes you jump out of bed and clock in. The Bitcoin you bought last month just upsurged. All this may suggest that money makes you happy, but in reality, it's dopamine release. Not to mistake dopamine for pleasure, because you'll still find pleasure in making money, but you'll lack the driving force and motivation to do so. The world isn't advancing in technology and hustling to make millions for the sake of human evolution. In fact, it all boils down to dopamine. So the more hardworking you are, the harder you strive for dopamine. Want to know another interesting fact? Your mind measures your successes and failures with a standard of how much dopamine you've previously released. Maybe you were an A-grade student in high school, so you're used to high dopamine levels, but you're not always acing in advanced college courses. You're not doing too bad, but you're not the star of the show either. So your body won't get as much dopamine as it used to, and you'll feel low. Understanding this can help you manipulate this hormone and start detoxifying. Find inner inspiration. The best way to find your path in life is to find yourself. Talk to yourself. Once you figure out what's holding you back, you must start thinking about where you want to be. The exciting thing about life is that it has endless possibilities. So, what's your goal? Think about how you see your life in the next few years. What do you want to do? Where do you want to be? What kind of support system do you want? What kind of life do you need? Engage with an inner dialogue to discover your inner inspiration. Your inner motivation will be your guiding light, creating a need to act. It will defeat your laziness, as it will prompt you to take action and turn your vision into a reality. As Thomas Alva Edison poetically peached, if we all did the things that we are capable of doing, we would literally astound ourselves. Another key practice to avoiding burnout, and it's not just a corporate excuse to take a Monday off. Burnout is a real phenomenon with neurological roots. Dr. Huberman explains this by the dopamine reward prediction error. This occurs when the reward is not as great as expected. You get the promotion you were dreaming of, or you got into your dream college. But then you stop and ask yourself, now what? This was supposed to make me the happiest person on the planet. This happens because your dopamine levels drop, making you less motivated in the future. Overstimulating yourself and the constant pursuit of dopamine release can make you plunge into despair. So Dr. Huberman advises taking some time off and resetting your thresholds before moving on to your next pursuit. Practice, don't just plan. Now let's do some real talk. You know what you want to do in life, right? You have your goals, dreams, and visions aligned. And you have the answers. You've made sticky notes and big plans, but what are you really doing to make it a reality? Planning is exhausting, but exciting. But is it rewarding? I mean, think about it. Have you been stalling on any project that you've been excited to work on for a while? Have you been feeling stuck in your personal life? What about your to-do list? Have you been stalling on that too? Don't let laziness stand tall against your destination. Anyone can daydream because everything is possible in daydreams. But you need to gear into action to see and live these dreams into reality. No excuses. Ask yourself what you can do to make your dreams come alive. Then ask yourself if you've been doing any of it. Remember, the first step is always the most daunting. You need to muster all the courage in the world to do it, and laziness will do everything in its power to stop you. But you must snatch back the power. You need to take control of your future and take action. Never forget the powerful words of Zig Ziglar. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So take the first step so laziness can cower in the background. Remember Dr. Huberman's advice, pursuing a goal is the true reward, and celebrating your win should be less intense than the pursuit. But does that mean you shouldn't enjoy your wins? Not at all. Celebrate small milestones. Sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves to get things done. It is humanly impossible to wake up every morning and function at the same frequency. Our bodies are machines. All machines need rest and oiling to function correctly. So always allow yourself some space to fall back. The most important thing is to be able to distinguish when you're simply being lazy and when you're actually and genuinely doing your best. Don't forget that you must loudly practice self-love if you want to beat laziness. Sometimes too much negativity targeted towards yourself can also have negative consequences. It's one thing to take accountability for your actions, but it is another thing to be overly self-critical. Beating yourself up relentlessly for feeling lazy or wasting time will breed negative feelings, and that in turn will perpetuate laziness. When you feel a little out of it, force yourself to celebrate little victories. After all, you're the one who got it done. And as the kids today are saying, a win is a win. So even if you fail a few times, learn from it and take another shot. Unending motivation is the biggest assassin of laziness. Remember Lucille Ball's words, love yourself first and everything else falls in line. You really have to love yourself to get anything done in this world. Alright folks, that is a wrap for today's video. I hope you were able to pick up some inspiration along the way to take your first step today and understand that you have all the tools available to beat laziness and retake control of your life. It is inspiring to have the reins of your destiny in your hands, and with some important lessons from Dr. Huberman, you can make life-changing decisions today for a better tomorrow. And hey, if you found this video valuable, don't keep it to yourself. Share this wisdom with your tribe of friends and family.